So I'll look for some of the tables and maybe I'll get a video going.
Yeah. All right. Let's jump over to the reason for the season, why we are here.
Ooh.
Nintendo has finally announced and unveiled their new paid online service. Have you had a
Yes,
chance to go through all the details of this?
I have thoughts.
Okay. So let's do a quick rundown. I've
Yeah,
got the
yeah.
screen pulled up now. So starting in September, you're going to have to pay to play online. That's going to be a
Hmm.
big change for Nintendo gamers, though. If you've been
Yeah,
playing on PlayStation or
first time.
Xbox, you're used to paying that fee. It is what it is. We'll get to
Yeah, we'll get
yeah, we'll
there.
get there. You've got cloud saves, which is a big deal. I know a lot of people have been crying for cloud saves, especially since a whole bunch of switches were breaking from those Nikon
Yeah.
docks. Yeah, don't buy any third party docks. I mean, I've been very tempted because I hate the original one because it's like scratching up my screen, but
Hmm.
yeah, not at the cost of losing all my saves and all that.
Yeah.
It seems like voice chat is still going to go through the phone app, which I thought was a dumpster fire when it first came out, and I deleted it off my phone and haven't
Yep.
used it since.
Discord.
And then the most intriguing thing is the library of games. So at launch, it's going to be 20 NES games that will be updated with online play. And
Cool.
so some of those games, we know the first 10. It's soccer, balloon fight, tennis, ice climber, Donkey Kong, Dr. Mario, Mario Bros, Legend of Zelda, Super Mario Bros, Super Mario Bros 3.
Cool. Let's start here, I guess.
Okay. Go for it.
um okay, so for the games, like I don't think Nintendo has said directly what the online features will be for these ones. Is that right?
What do
They
you
just
mean
said
by
that
the online feature?
like for the game, like the NES games,
Mm-hmm.
like they're supposed to be updated, right? So I'm assuming like online multiplayer, leaderboards, things like that, but they haven't specifically specified
Specified what? Oh, like
like
what?
what it will be. Yeah.
They have said online play.
Yeah.
Um, they've also said that you could have two people looking at the same screen. And so let's
Uh-huh.
say I was stuck in a level in Mario Bros. 3, you could take control for me and then
Oh,
play as
gotcha.
well. I believe that's what they say here with the whole, like, you can.
Play together when you're far apart.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Okay, cool. Um, and then I guess what I'm thinking is like, is that I don't know, is that substantially enough, and is it cool like to replay The Legend of Zelda like again? I don't know. Um, I don't know. Like they're all great games, and I think the addition of online multiplayer is cool. But like when I'm thinking of online multiplayer, I'm not thinking of NES games. Um, so maybe it kind of loses some of the impact there. But hopefully it's just the start, and they move towards more meaningful things
Yeah.
or games.
I think this aspect of the Nintendo online experience is going to be the real X factor here
Yeah, I
because
think you're right.
I think as a whole, the service kind of sucks,
Hmm.
and you're really paying for cloud saves and whatever this online service ends up being,
Yeah.
the games. In a perfect world, this ends up being the Netflix of Nintendo games,
Hmm.
and that would be incredible. However, um, I highly doubt Nintendo is going to get these games out, especially at a reasonable rate, especially if they're updating them with online play.
Yeah.
And two, I I struggle to see how much they add to this library if it's only going to be $20 US a year.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. And I think one of my notes I had on our outline was that, this is supposed to be essentially killing the virtual console because it's not coming. And so
Mm-hmm.
you're getting this instead. And I think the best analogy is the one you just did with the Netflix of Nintendo games. And like that is such a cool idea. Like even if it was only like 20 or 30 games per month, then they swapped out with 30 different ones, like that's still really awesome. And I would happily pay $20 a whole year to get that service without online play or whatever, just to have that. That's really cool. But Nintendo is Nintendo, and they're going to be hella slow the entire time, and they're not going to give the fans what they specifically want.
No.
So yeah, I feel like it's going to be maybe this trickle effect of games here and there, and then in like a couple years, it might be a really really cool thing. But it just depends how fast they do it and how much they put into it.
Yeah. I think the real bottleneck after that is going to be the cost. Like as soon
Yeah,
as you add Super Nintendo games on there, I don't think $20 a year makes sense for Nintendo. Like you
yeah,
could be charging $10 a month for a decent library without any of the online play or anything,
yeah.
just to get access to these games. And so, unless they start adding in weird tiers and whatnot, I struggle to see how many games they have on this service at any given time.
Yeah, I feel like you're paying for like the infrastructure of it, and then that's it, which is nice and it's commendable of Nintendo. Like hopefully they're gonna, you know, do a great job and give people a really good service and set the standard. But yeah, I mean, like if they're trying to make money off this, I feel like it's probably not happening. But that being said, like as you know, from a user standpoint, like pretty cool. Like you know, I was gonna pay $20. $20 a year is great, by the way. That's a wonderful price.
Mhm.
And I was gonna pay it anyways, probably just for nothing else to at least play online. So getting online storage is great, and these games are all bonus. So maybe Nintendo's treating it that way, where like you're just paying for this, and everything else is just extra.
Okay. Yeah, I would love to see Nintendo prove me wrong and make this the Netflix of video games that we would all love and probably pay way more than $20 a year for. This is a start, and I reserve judgment on this particular part of it until we see where Nintendo goes from here. But
Yeah,
at launch, do I want to? I don't know if I want to play any of these online. Like,
yeah, yeah. Like
oh,
like
Doctor
they're
Mario, I
hesitant.
would.
Dr. Mario's a good one, and like some of those aren't super big, like multiplayer games, but and they're missing some big ones. Like Punch Out would be cool. I know you can't multiplayer that, but like Punch Out would be a fun one, and like Metroid, those would be cool games that I would be like, oh, I could dab that for like an hour and play. But you know, if we look back at the Wii when it started, like in their virtual console, I felt like it was pretty bare bones, and I remember thinking like, why is this the games that they added there? But you know, years later, literally hundreds of games, multiple systems, other companies putting out those games. So I guess the future could be really bright, and I think I'll miss the virtual console and the idea of it. But if it can be replaced with something better, I'm fine with that, and I'm fine with the experiment. Because if nothing else, they could just Nintendo could say like, oh, you know, we're done. And like whatever, I've had all these games for years and years and years anyways, so it's not a huge loss. But it could be something great, and I think we should take that risk.
All right, since you brought up Virtual Console, yeah, Nintendo
Mhm.
straight up said, "Virtual Console
Yeah,
as we know it is dead."
dead.
Um, we will get this, which I think is going to cover some of the games, but it's probably not going to cover most of the games. Do you see? I guess where they're kind of leaving it at is kind of what they're doing now on the Switch, where you can buy a whole
Hmm.
bunch of Neo Geo games. There's
Yeah,
a couple of Nintendo arcade games where they just kind of
yeah.
release them as games or in collections on the eShop, just like any other game.
Hmm.
Do you like that approach?
Uh, I mean, I guess not particularly, but it's probably saving money to buy it like that in the long run, which is nice. But I think having the huge catalog of games, which Nintendo had before, was what was really cool. So having to just trickle out a few here and there, eventually we'll get there. But I don't know. Like it seems like Nintendo's not on board with that, but like Sega and Neo Geo are. So how's that going to work out?
Yeah, I think what made the virtual console great toward like by the
Mm,
time it was all said and done was that there were so many different publishers had so many different games on there. And
yeah,
right now it's like Neo Geo's in, Nintendo's in, and I guess Sega is in with their whole Sega Ages collection.
yeah, kind of. And they're
Uh,
doing that compilation disc thing too.
and
So
then
maybe they'll, yeah.
Capcom sorta in with their Street Fighter and Mega Man collections, but
Hmm.
would you prefer that over kind of getting those original games in some sort of blanket brand?
Yeah, I don't know. Like I think if I could dream and get it the way I'd want it to be, like it should be the Netflix style. Like stream what you want, even if it's only a limited number per month, and then it's a new limited number. Like I think that's what it should be, especially for these old games. I mean, some of these games are over 30 years old, and like people have probably bought them literally 3 or 4 times in their life. So like they don't necessarily deserve to be bought again, but people probably will. So I guess it depends how Nintendo as a business will go as opposed to Nintendo as like a toy maker.
Yeah.
Like what are they going to do for the consumer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It really makes me regret not having bought virtual console games at the last minute in March. I
Hmm.
didn't decide to get my Wii back from my brother until it was too late. and now
Yeah.
I can't access any of that stuff anymore.
Yeah.
The Wii U.
Wait.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh no. Oh, okay. I was gonna say the Wii U and 3DS, they still have theirs though, right? That's
Yes.
still up there. Yeah.
Uh,
I don't think they gave an end date. Did they?
no.
Okay.
The
Well,
Wii
there's
U one
hope.
is not nearly as good, but there is some stuff on there
Yes.
I want to pick up. I actually wrote down a list of some games that like I should go back and grab on the Wii U. Off the top of my head, I know I want 1080 snowboarding.
Classic.
And then there's a lot of Game Boy Advance games on there. You can get a lot
Yeah.
of the Advance Wars and Fire Emblem games on
Hmm.
those, and so I'm definitely gonna pick all of those up at some point.
Yeah. Like, oh god, just like hearing you say that just makes me think of the Virtual Console when it first came out, and just oh, there's so many missed opportunities. Like, I mean, the Game Boy is just so neglected, and even with the 3DS coming out, like there's not that many on there, and like now you have the Switch. Like, there's so many other opportunities. So I just, if you dream and hope, like there could be some cool stuff. But I've done that before, and have been sorely disappointed.
Yeah. Actually, while we're here, I'll pull up my list. I wrote these down, and I'll throw out a couple of names on there of some games to check out on the Wii U Virtual Console. If I can find the list. Oh my goodness, did I erase it? Oh, here we go. Some other games you could check out on the Wii U Virtual Console still. Star Fox 64.
Great game. One of my all-time top 10 favorites.
Super Slept On. Excite Bike 64.
Played it. I remember that
I
Seward Mountain
think
level.
that game is really good, and
Yeah.
people are underrating. I can't believe no one like cares about that game.
Yeah. No, it's pretty good.
Yeah, Wave Race 64.
Oh, classic.
I
I still have the maps in my head.
one I'm really curious. Oh, River City Ransom on the NES is on the Wii U Virtual Console.
Oh, nice. That's a great game.
That is an awesome game. That game is so ahead of its
Barf.
time
Yeah.
with just the beat 'em up and the RPG elements and all that.
Yeah, for sure.
One more game I'll shout out here. Actually, a couple more games. Mario Kart DS you can get on the Wii U.
Yeah, you're right.
You can also get Mario Golf Advance Tour, and
Ugh.
the Mario Tennis RPG is also on the Wii U.
Yeah, power, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's RPG, tennis, and golf. The best kinds of tennis and golf.
Yeah.
Those games alone. See, wouldn't those like 6 games make a really good solid month of Netflix Nintendo?
Yeah, for sure.
I would be really happy with that. Hopefully they're listening.
Yeah. All right. So I guess we could cover these other things. Having to play online or pay to play online. It's really weird now because with Switch owners have been going over a year without having to pay for online, and now we're gonna have to flip the switch. Like, how come my Splatoon worked fine yesterday without me paying extra?
Yeah, I think that totally reasonable. Like, I totally get it. And again, $20 a year isn't even a bad thing. But I think we've been kind of spoiled for a long time, and I think people will pay it, which is great. And I don't know. I just feel like it's a foregone conclusion. Like, everyone's going to go there. Everyone's going to have to pay for online. But maybe Nintendo will be cool about it, and they'll do some, I don't know, freebies for games like that, like Mario Kart and ARMS and Splatoon have been out for so long. Maybe they'll release some special, I don't know, Ambassador Edition content or something like that.
And yeah, cloud saves. It's great that they have it, but it's something I've noticed other people complain about is that Nintendo's the only platform holder that does not give you a free alternative to back up your saves.
Yeah, that's a whole problem in and of itself. Cloud saving is so great, and it's kind of funny thinking of Valkyria Chronicles. When I was playing it, I told Laura, like, this is the first time in a long time where I physically had to save my game. Like, it's just weird because it just saves automatically. But yeah, with cloud saving, I don't think you need cloud saving. It's a great addition, but I think having literally no other choice that's not cool. So I don't know why you can't just save to a disk or whatever, a flash drive. But hopefully the cloud saving works and it doesn't have any problems and people will enjoy that.
Yeah. And yeah, the online app is probably the worst part of this all. It drives me nuts that Nintendo does not give users a alternative to chatting directly through the console itself.
Yeah. Oh God, I don't get it. Like, there must be some logistical thing we just don't see, but I don't get it at all. And like, yeah, you're right. The app is there's choice words for the app. So I just think that it's bad, and like they just need to incorporate something else. Yeah, like chat through the system itself. I don't get it.
Yeah. And
Fortunately, I don't think Nintendo's going to have a huge like competitive scene where you need to have those things where you might have like a Call of Duty or something like that where people want to chat all the time. But they
mhm.
still have Smash and they have Mario Kart and ARMS, Splatoon, like all
Splatoon
those
takes a
games.
lot of
Yeah, it
coordination.
requires coordination. So yeah, they're missing out.
Yeah. And I think the saving grace, well, besides the cloud saves and the potential for that games library, is the price. And the
Yeah,
price is a lot lower than Xbox Live and PlayStation Plus. I mean, yeah,
yeah,
you're getting a lot less, but this is also $20 US per account, or for
hmm
a solo account for a year. And they've got this family plan, which is $35, and up to 8 people can mooch off that plan. So, if you can get
yeah.
a couple of other people with you, you can be paying as little as I think it was
Yeah.
$4 a year.
$4. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's super cheap.
So maybe we'll talk between me, you, my brother, and whoever else. We'll get a
Get
family
something
plan
going.
going.
Yeah, I feel like I'll do that with probably with be with my own family because we've got like 4 or 5 between us, so
Okay,
it's quite
awesome.
a lot.
Yeah, so in that case, like, yeah, the service isn't great, but you're paying $5, and I'm getting all these
Yeah,
Nintendo games and cloud saves, like whatever.
yeah,
Um,
exactly. See, when you slice it that way, it's like, oh, that's not bad. But when you get greedy, you're like, this sucks.
the one thing I've also seen online people complaining about is that if you are someone who has a one Switch in their household, but you have
Mhm.
multiple people that play online, you automatically have to pay for the family membership.
Yeah,
And
that's true.
so that's something you don't have to do on Xbox Live or PlayStation 4, I believe.
Yeah,
So,
no, you don't. You don't. It's just one person needs to have it. Maybe I mean, they could incorporate something like that, like where you have that. What's it called, like master account or I don't know, main account, something like that. I don't see why you couldn't have that option. But nah, even still, like $35 versus $20 a month,
yeah.
still not bad of a deal.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm I mean, we will find out how well this works in September. I'm curious. I am keeping my fingers and my toes crossed that this
Yeah.
game library becomes so good that we will forget that Virtual Console even existed.
We'll laugh at this show.
But for now, I'm skeptical.
Yeah. Me
Yeah.
me too. Like I think it's when Nintendo announced it like first happening like over what a year ago, like oh you're gonna have to pay for it. I was like, oh sure. Like I was already on board for it. So it is all just bonus, but man, like they're just sitting on such a treasure trove. Like I don't understand why they don't want to do more with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Hmm.
I think we are going to wrap up here. Um, so Jason, is there anything you want to shout out before we go?
Uh